everybody, welcome back to Pixel Junkies.
Hey there.
We're playing the Washington Monument Simulator.
Pretty much.
And we're going in and we're trying to fight George Washington's ghost for the right to get discounts on all of our goods.
So foggy.
Why is it foggy? This isn't Newfoundland.
It's just the weather.
I know that's the actual answer, but that sounded really sarcastic. Oh, it's just the weather.
Well, we're in like a weird kind of greenhouse thingy here. Oh shit.
And that guy was still swinging even though you're right. He has terrible reflexes.
Yeah, he's
I'm
coked out
so
of his mind
bad
on
at this.
spice.
Are these the cheetahs or whatever?
Yeah, these are still the hyenas.
Okay.
So it is a bit foggier down here than up on the street, but it's just foggy in general right now. So the weather systems in it are really cool. Actually, I like how kind of with the sound design and how dynamic it is, and like if it's really foggy, enemies like won't be able to see you.
You always say that, by the way. You're like, man, the sound design of this game is really dynamic, and I'm just sitting here in stone cold silence on the couch. The only ambience is your computer going into a conniption trying to keep up with the graphic settings.
Well, it is doing a bunch of stuff right now that normally with streaming and all that you wouldn't do with one computer.
But you know, we're very poor and nobody gives us money.
Well, it's currently
YouTube, if you want to sponsor us.
It's currently being extending the game more behind the scenes this week. Tune in next week for more behind the scenes. The game is being extended to a TV screen, which has a different refresh rate than my monitor, and for some reason that absolutely hammers the GPU.
I mean, to be fair, I can see your screen from where I'm sitting on your couch. Also, you know how like Rooster Teeth and Funhouse and Critical Role and all the big YouTube channels do, like, come check out our recording space, and like it's a big like professional looking warehouse. It'd be great. Like, come, like we're gonna do a tour of Pixel Junkies recording studios. Come on, and we open up your door, and it's like, and all right, we're done.
Welcome
there's
to my
the bed.
couch.
There's some laundry. There's a pile of approximately 52 empty beer cans on the floor.
They're all different.
What?
I want to put them in a case.
No, they're
or
not.
something.
I see 3 fucking St. Ambrose apricot down there.
No, there's not. One
Yeah,
of them
there is.
No, it's not. One of them is grapefruit, and the other two. Oh, hang on.
There's absolutely like multiple.
Yeah, okay. There's 2 apricot, and one of them's grapefruit. I gotta get rid of one of them.
What are you doing with them anyway? I don't know why my voice cracked just then. What
what,
am I gonna get out of puberty?
The cans?
Yeah.
I had nothing at the moment. I just want to put them in a case or something and collect them. But I don't know. Maybe collecting cans is stupid. I just like the artwork on all the different design. You know, all the different can designs.
Yeah,
but where do you put them? Like, what do you do with it? It's just taking up space.
I saw somebody did a really cool like project at home where they made a countertop using different types of beer bottle tops, like twist offs and stuff. And not just beer bottles, but you know, like sodas and stuff. And they made a whole counter by like just placing them down, and then they put resin over it and sealed it. It looked really cool.
That's a cool idea. That's something you could do with it.
Welcome to the home bar tips with Pixel Junkies, Aaron and Adam. Do you got a bunch of beer cans lying around your house? Do some decorating shit with that. Put that up on the wall.
That actually be a cool idea. Maybe I'll do that.
What?
I'll cut the tops and bottoms off of them, and then unwrap the can like a rectangle, and then like. Make cover your wall with it, because it's like all the artwork on all the different cans is cool, because a lot of them are like limited edition cans. Have you had the I think it's called Director's Cut at Kitty Vitty?
I think so.
This is like a turbo limited edition thing, and all the cans have different designs on it, and it pisses me off because they're all cool.
One thing I will say is the liquor store in Newfoundland, and like look into this however deeply you want, has a lot of really good choices for craft beers.
It's a lot better than it was a couple of years ago.
Well, a couple of years ago it used to be like, oh, do you like Coors? Well, get ready for Coors Light.
I think the Bear Market restaurant really helped that.
Yeah, although it also helps that there's a bunch of craft breweries around here now.
There is that, but I think like the craft stuff became a thing before all the microbreweries started opening. And I think that was because like people would go into the beer market and get Fruly and be like, holy shit, a strawberry beer. Where can I get this? You know, not in a glass. And they're like, you go to the liquor store and they're like, no, we don't got none of that. We only got, oh, do you like India? Like, no. Can I have a real beer, please? Oh, you don't like pale ale? Well, here's an IPA that'll turn your face inside out. Because you're a man and apparently your taste buds are horrible. Like, no, I'd like the...
India really is fucking awful.
Yeah. And so then they started carrying other stuff. St. Ambrose Apricot, Fruli, both of those.
And these are stuff that are there, like, regularly. We have
Yeah.
a bunch of craft brews that just kind of get cycled in and out whenever they get, but we get, like, Hobgoblin, which is good.
Can
we
you get
a lot
Krabbies anymore?
What?
I looked for Krabbies ginger beer.
I saw some in my store about a month or so ago. I don't know if it's still there.
Because I was looking for it around Halloween, and I couldn't find any. I don't know if it was sold out or...
We get a lot of Innocent Gun. I like Innocent Gun.
Yeah. Some of those are good. Some of those are kind of okay.
Yeah. We get Witcher Wood. We get a lot of Witcher Wood. They're good.
Man,
we get a lot of stuff from like Canada as well. Like there's a lot of great craft breweries in Canada.
Yeah. But that director's cut is I think it's a blood orange and grapefruit or something like that.
Ooh.
I think a blood orange grapefruit sour or something like that. It's a sour beer, and it's like it is actually like.
Oh, I probably won't like it then because I don't like sour beers.
It's not super like warhead
Because Kitty
sour,
Bitty did a
sour.
sour beer over the summer, and I tried a bit, and it was like burnt hair, and I'm like, what the fuck is this?
No, not bitter, sour.
It was sour. It was something. It was gross, is what it was.
Well, can you distinguish bitter and sour?
Yes, I can distinguish bitter and sour.
Well, because some people say like, oh, those cranberries are so sour. It's like, no, cranberries are bitter. To me, anyway. Like I feel anyway. There's a difference.
There is a difference.
Like a lemon is sour. That's what sour is. Everything else is bitter.
And I will say it was sour, but it just had a really awful aftertaste. Oh man, I got a heart attack halfway through it. Like the drugs finally caught up, and I'm like, eee!
I don't know if there's anybody over there, but fuck you.
Man, these Jaguars are coming at you fast and heavy. You think the leader of the Jaguars has a pet Jaguar?
No.
So who is the leader of the Jaguars? Oh man, they popped up like a fucking kid's book. Like whoop! All right, everybody in formation.
Forget the guy's name, but he'll be at the DUA arena. He's got a shield.
DUA.
I think that's the leader because it's
dead on arrival.
The District Union Arena.
Oh.
The stadium that's here basically. There's a couple of named enemies in that, so I don't know who technically is the leader, but I think it's the guy at the end, which would make most sense. I can't remember his name.
Because as is perfect real-world logic, the head of an organization is also the toughest. That's why Jeff Bezos is unbeatable.
I don't think the guy at the end is the toughest. He's just kind of there.
It is funny though, like that's how video game logic presents, but like Bowser's clearly the strongest of all the Koopas because he's
that seems like a very Japanese trope.
Yeah,
maybe
and it is.
Maybe that's racist, but
well, it comes up all the time in anime.
Like, yeah, if you look at something like Tekken, that's like,
or like it comes up a lot in like fight anime, but also like Lord of the Rings. Like Sauron is the toughest technically.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
Sauron could kick Saruman's ass, probably.
Ass.
Did
I get a key? I got a key.
There's one really great part in The Hobbit where remember the really awful parts of The Hobbit where Gandalf is going out to fight the Necromancer, and surprise, it turns out that the really powerful, evil, ancient wizard-like force was actually Sauron the whole time. That massive twist.
Oh, shit.
There's a great part where after Sauron flees, Saruman looks at Gandalf and the rest of them and he goes, "Leave Sauron to me." And then I watched an interview that the very late great Christopher oh my god, Christopher
Columbus.
What?
Columbus.
Oh, not Christopher Columbus. Who played Saruman? Let's play Dooku.
Christopher Lloyd.
Oh, Aaron, it's gonna bug me. Do you remember?
Christopher. No, I don't. I remember all the other Christophers.
Put it up on screen. Anyway, he's going. He was doing an interview about that moment, and he says, Saruman says, "Leave Sauron to me." And he means it. And I'm like, that's badass, man. Can you imagine Saruman before he got corrupted going out and like kicking Sauron's ass? Like how awesome that would be. Also, maybe Tolkien, if you're gonna take some advice from a fellow writer, I realize I'm not nearly as good as you, but perhaps don't name two of your villains very similar sounding names, like Lord Vader. It's like, yes, Master Cater. Like what? Your names are Vader and Cater? Yes.
You know, maybe you should tell that to God for naming North Korea and South Korea. Well, we gotta have one that's really good and has like a bunch of babes and good music and food and culture, and one that sucks shit.
And then South Korea. Oh! No, seriously, South Korea is great.
Yeah. Although I'm sure
I do want to go there someday.
Most of their babes are probably mostly plastic, but you know, whatever.
Are you saying bays or babes?
Babes.
Oh.
I'm not a millennial piece of garbage. Huh?
Who are you to judge?
Well, I've heard people from South Korea say that, so
that like their hot women are full of plastic.
That most women that you see that are like hyper attractive and look like Barbie dolls are mostly plastic surgery. So.
Well, yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that, like women who
I think
like,
that's just like kind of part of
plastic
South
surgery
culture.
themselves though to look like Barbie dolls? Like that's a weird thing, right?
Well, it's not obviously it's not as that far blown in South Korea. I have seen that. But some South Korean women you look at, you're like, holy shit, she's beautiful. She doesn't look like other South Korean women. It's like because she's plastic. And for some reason, it's totally acceptable to just be like, yeah, I'm going to change my face completely.
Yeah.
And get my hooded eyes untucked or whatever they do.
I will say, like, do whatever you want. If you want to look like a Barbie doll, that's fine. More power to you. Like, who cares what, like, my opinion? As long as you think you look good, it's fine. But, like...
I'm not judging you for that.
But, like,
it's just...
That's a weird
It
thing.
seems weird to have something like that be so socially acceptable and normal. To just be like, yeah, I'm going to change myself entirely. Go for it if you want, I guess. Asia's always been ahead of the curve on all this shit anyway, so people in North America have been doing that in 20 years. Oh yeah, I'm just going to decapitate myself and put my head in my anus because that's what I want to be.
What? Sorry, I just clued into that one.
I want to have my head in my anus. Fucking leave me alone. Let me do what I want. That's my freedom.
I'm looking up those real life dolls.
Oh, they're gonna look up which Christopher we were talking about.
Oh yeah, you should probably do that.
Fucking show yourself, shithead enemy.
Christopher Lee.
Christopher
Jesus Christ!
Lee.
It's like the easiest one to remember. I'm just a fucking idiot. Yeah, I'm really sad that he's dead.
I knew Lloyd was close, but then obviously it wasn't 1.21 gigawatts. Yeah, he was a cool guy. He was also old though, so it's not like it was tragic, I don't think. He was acting all the way to the end. Like Stanley as well. He was a fucking active dude.
Yeah. Well, there was a show I watched a couple of years ago about like life after 90. And it was basically about like what like people in their 90s like do and stuff. And it was like there's not all just retirement homes and stuff. And they did an interview with Stan Lee, and he was like, yeah, I'm still out there writing and I'm in stuff and I'm doing all this stuff and I'm working on a charity. And I'm like, fucking hey, dude.
Yeah, I watched something with Kevin Smith. I mean, I guess you can say what you want about Kevin Smith. But he did, what was the movie he did? Barbershop Boys or Barbershop something? Something like that, Pet Shop, something.
So I typed up girls who look like dolls, and the second response was, Russian man found with 29 dead girls' bodies dressed like dolls, and then it cuts off. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Why is that the first response?
That's a cool thing. Just look at like K-pop stars, because most of those, I would say, are what you're looking for. But anyway, Kevin Smith did some movie back in like the 90s, and he referenced like Stan Lee, I think.
Oh yeah?
And then in fucking what movie was it that just... Oh, it was Captain Marvel, I think it was, where he was on the bus.
Oh yeah?
Remember that? Where like Stanley's cameo was him on the bus?
Yeah.
And he was reading, I think... Oh yeah, no, Stanley had a cameo in some old Kevin Smith movie in the 90s. And like Kevin Smith was like super blown away
Jesus Christ!
that he even accepted doing it in the first place. But then Kevin Feige got in touch with Kevin Smith about Captain Marvel and said, like, we want to have this Stan Lee cameo in Captain Marvel be this specific thing. And it turned out the way they set it up was him reading the script for that Kevin Smith movie on the bus
while he was
going to it.
So that's actually Stan Lee.
Yeah, so it's like he like canonized him reading that script for that film that he cameoed in, like back in the 90s.
What's the so technically the Kevin Smith movies are canon in the MCU. What's your favorite
Anyway, you thought that was cool.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. Jesus Christ. What's your favorite Stan Lee cameo? BBQ Bar and Grill.
In the Marvel films?
Yeah.
I don't know. The one in Ultron stands out.
Which one is that? Oh, is that the one where he's He's like
drinking at the bar or whatever.
I was on Omaha. I can take it. And then he takes one sip. And he's knocked out.
They're like dragging him away.
Yeah. I like the one in Spider-Man, like Amazing Spider-Man, the first one.
Oh, that was a good one. That was a good one as well.
And I also like the one in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 when he's talking to the Watchers. Like, listen, fellas, I really got to go use the washroom.
Yeah, that was a good one. All right, well, we got to go next. Viewpoint.
Was he in
Museum.
Endgame? I can't remember.
I think he had a cameo in Endgame, didn't he? Why can't I remember?
I think the one in...
Was he driving his car or something?
Maybe.
Was it the car
I don't
one?
think he was in Far From Home. I can't remember.
No, I don't think.
So it's kind
Maybe
of appropriate that Endgame is his last cameo. Although I will say, one of my favorite cameos of him is from the Spider-Man PlayStation 4 game, where he was like, "You were always my favorite." Yeah. Or
that was good.
the one from Into the Spider-Verse was good too. Where it's like, the suit always fits, and then it cuts up to no refunds. It always fits.
That was good. Oh, right. Yeah.
Which I still think is the best Spider-Man movie and probably the best Spider-Man medium ever made. Although this was a good year for Spider-Man movies because we got the game and then Into the Spider-Verse and then we got Far From Home. So that's 3 really good Spider-Man stories.
Did the game come out this year or was it last year?
No, well, I meant like in the span of like one year.
Good calendar year.
Yeah.
Or
I know what you mean.
Yeah, the opposite of that.
Oh man, it's the Black Tusks. We gotta find Babar.
Take that. Yeah, it's been good. It's also a big fucking Star Wars thing now. I guess when does this come out? December. I guess we're getting close to episode 9.
Oh man, can't wait. Definitely not gonna be as good as the Mandalorian.
Yeah, we haven't talked about that at all.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, we're as of this recording, only 2 episodes are out. But I'm enjoying it very much, especially when Jawas got fucking vaporized.
I love how dark it is.
Yeah, like,
it's not very clearly not a regular Disney thing. Like super like disintegrating Jawas and hurling them off the sandcrawler.
Yeah.
It was great.
I also really liked. I think it was IG-44 or whatever the robot was in the first episode. I liked
Like
his
22
movements a
or
lot.
something. He was great. Yeah, I was wondering what.
I don't think that's the one. That's the guy who's voiced by what's his name.
I think it's a different one from episode 6.
No. I mean, there's the dude who directed Thor Ragnarok is voicing a character like that, but I don't think that's the same one.
Oh, that was him.
It was?
Yep.
Okay, well then he's coming back, I believe, because I think he's going to get reprogrammed and he's going to have like a wacky personality because he got his brain blown out.
Yeah, okay. I was wondering what was going to happen with him because I heard that like Jon Favreau said Taika Waititi was doing an IG unit in the series. And like, okay, so that kind of sets the tone for me a little bit because he did Korg and Guardian in Thor.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well, so he's probably going to be kind of like a kind of nonchalant, humorous, kind of don't give a fuck character. And then we get the Mandalorian episode 1, and he's like not that at all. He's
he's just a robot.
He has no like emoting at all beyond like.
I would say that he's gonna come back
self-destructing. Like, would you stop with that?
That was funny. Like anytime the situation turns sour, I was like, "We're winning." It's like, and then more show, I was like, beginning self-destruct. I was like, "Will you stop it?"
I love the exchange where he's like, "Run a diagnostic." He's like, "It missed my central wiring harness." He's like, "Is that good?" He's like, "Yes." Well, I thought it was good.
That's a good show. Also, I don't want to get into it, but the twist at the end of the first episode, I kind of as soon as I saw the thing hovering, I'm like, I think I know what's in there, and I was right. But like up until that point, I had no idea. I thought it was just gonna be like, oh, it's, you know who I thought it was gonna be? I thought it was gonna be like Wedge Antilles or something.
As a 50-year-old.
Well, when does that take place? Closer to episode 6 or closer to episode 7? It's probably closer to episode 6, right?
Because it's like it looks like it's been a while. Because the stormtroopers in that first episode look pretty fucking like.
I'm guessing the first order hasn't come out yet.
Yeah, probably not.
So I'm guessing it's probably been 10 years or so.
5-10 years, probably. Yeah. So
I'm fairly convinced.
Isn't
he's
Wedge
not Boba
coming
Fett.
back for episode 9?
Yes, he is. Yep.
So yeah.
Does
that make sense?
I don't know. Well,
he
lived.
I guess it does.
He lived.
I know he lived. I'm just wondering, like, time-wise. I guess it works out.
I really liked in because when I first got Disney Plus, I was going on to see what like movies they were, and I saw that they had the Star Wars movies. So I was seeing which version it was, and it's the Blu-ray version where they ruined the best scene of the whole fucking franchise. But I cut to I didn't know exactly where it was, but I cut to the end of the movie. And I'm like, I wonder if this is it. And what it was the scene where where Admiral Piet was like, intensify forward firepower. Because all I see is the A-Wing pilot going, "Ah!" And then in probably the greatest badass pilot scene ever.
Just the effects back then. Like, it was great. They don't really hold up really at all. Like, I feel like it's a charm of the era, but
yeah, I still think they hold up.
Yeah. And I do like that they've continued doing that, at least particularly with The Mandalorian. There's some CG stuff in it, but there's also a lot of like puppets and other stuff. And like the puppets are done really well, so they kind of look like CG in some shots.
Yeah,
it's good.
Like the Soloist in helping Lando fly the Millennium Falcon. Like,
yeah,
he did a really good job. I like the idea that like they're flying, whipping around, and the two guys in the guns are getting because the Millennium Falcon's quad laser cannons are getting turbo like shaking around as they're flying through the Death Star.
How do you sit in those fucking seats?
I don't know.
Because if you watch the films, the person on those guns is looking out a window, so they're on the top and bottom of the ship.
So they would have to be like...
So the person sitting on the bottom gun, if you're in like a gravity environment, unless the ship has its own gravity for whatever reason, and that room is separated.
Like you're this, like looking down.
You're looking down. Like Finn in episode 7, he's like sitting vertically down. Like it just doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, I will say... remember that we bring it up all the time. Remember that episode of Top Gear where they're doing the trucks and Jeremy has a gear shift shoved up his ass because he was pulling so many G's in the truck. Imagine that, but like the quad laser cannon on the Millennium Falcon. Like they're like, we gotta take out the Death Star's reactor, and they're like doing a high G turn, and the guys on the gun like, ah!
You see Finn, he's like, are we really doing this? And then it cuts to Clarkson flying at his seat.
Yeah. He's like, the gear shift is in my anus.
Oh man. Alright, well that's this week.
Yeah.
Tune in for more Star Wars or whatever, and Karen's continued quest to speak to America's manager now that George Washington's ghost is dead forever. And we'll see you then.